So, there I was, sitting in a ridiculously overpriced coffee shop, the kind with minimalist furniture that's actively hostile to the human spine. Across from me, my ex-girlfriend of 4 years, Chloe, is doing this full-on, single tear running down her cheek movie cry. It was the kind of cry that's engineered to make you, the guy, feel like the world's biggest monster. I made the biggest mistake of my life, Leo, she whispered, her voice cracking just so. These last 2 months have been hell without you. I know that now. I just want to come home. And sitting right next to her, looking like a deer that just realized the headlights are attached to a freight train, was her best friend, Megan. She was pale, fidgeting with her phone and refusing to make eye contact with either of us. The air was thick with desperation and cheap perfume. For a second, I almost felt a flicker of the old protective instinct I used to have for Chloe. Almost. I took a slow, deliberate sip of my $9 latte. I let the silence hang there for a beat too long, watching them both squirm. Then, I placed the cup down, leaned forward, and gave them a calm, gentle smile. You know what? I said, my voice dangerously pleasant. I've thought about this a lot. And I've come to a conclusion. You two really, truly deserve each other. Chloe's crying stopped. Her face scrunched up in confusion. Megan looked up, her eyes wide with panic. And just so we're all on the same page about why, I continued, reaching into my pocket and pulling out my phone, I think we should all listen to a fun little recording I have. I call this one, 2 Betrayals, 1 Coffee Shop. And then I pressed play. But to understand how we got to that beautiful, beautiful train wreck, we need to rewind 2 months. To the day my world fell apart. 2 months ago, I had it all figured out. Or so I thought. I was 26, had a decent job in graphic design, a cool apartment, and Chloe. We'd been together since college. For years. We had a dog together, a goofy golden retriever named Gus. We talked about marriage, about kids, the whole 9 yards. Our life was comfortable, a well-worn pair of jeans. Chloe was vibrant. The kind of person who's the life of every party. She loved attention, loved being adored. I'm a quieter guy, more of a homebody, and I thought we balanced each other out. She pulled me out of my shell. I gave her a safe place to land. It worked. Or, again, so I thought. In hindsight, the red flags weren't just flags. They were giant, flashing, neon billboards. Like how any girl I was friends with was an immediate threat. Or how if I didn't text back within 15 minutes, she'd assume I was dead in a ditch or, worse, talking to another woman. At the time, I told myself it was just passion. She just loved me a lot, you know? And then there was Megan. Her best friend since forever. Megan was always there. Literally. Movie night at our place? Megan was on the couch. Anniversary dinner? Chloe would ask, do you mind if Megan tags along? She just had a bad breakup. She was like a permanent fixture in our relationship, a walking, talking, pot-stirring piece of furniture. She was also way too touchy-feely with me, always finding an excuse to touch my arm or give me a hug that lasted a little too long. I brushed it off. I was just being paranoid, right? They were best friends. The day it ended was a Tuesday. It was completely normal. I came home from work, Gus was happy to see me, and Chloe was unusually quiet. We made dinner, and then, as we were washing the dishes, she dropped the bomb. Leo, I don't think I can do this anymore. I swear, the plate in my hand almost slipped. Do this? What's this? The dishes? Because I can finish them. She wasn't laughing. Us, she said, looking at a spot on the wall behind me. I need to leave. I need to find myself. I feel like I've lost who I am in this relationship. It was the most cliché, most nonsensical breakup line in the history of the world. My brain just couldn't process it. Find yourself? What does that even mean? Where did you go? Are you unhappy? Did I do something wrong? Talk to me, Chloe. But there was nothing. Just empty platitudes. It's not you, it's me. I just need space. I love you, but I'm not in love with you. It was like she was reading from a script. There were no real tears, just this cold, detached finality. I was heartbroken, confused, and completely blindsided. For years of my life, and it was ending over a vague, Hallmark card sentiment. Within a week, she was gone. She packed her things while I was at work, leaving behind nothing but an empty closet, the half of the apartment that now felt cavernously empty, and the dog. She couldn't take Gus, she said, because her new place, her parents' place, she claimed, didn't allow pets. That should have been another billboard-sized red flag, but I was too busy trying to breathe. The first couple of weeks were a blur of grief. I'd come home to a silent apartment, and Gus would just look at me with these sad eyes, like he was asking, where'd she go? I didn't have an answer for him. I didn't have an answer for myself. And that's when the first escalation happened. My phone buzzed. It was Megan. Hey, just checking in on you. I know this must be so hard. Chloe can be really selfish sometimes. It felt weird, but I appreciated the gesture. I texted back a polite thanks. But then the texts kept coming. Every day. At first, it was just, how are you holding up? But it quickly morphed into something else. She never appreciated how good you were to her. I always told her she was lucky to have you. Honestly, I never understood what she was thinking. You're such a catch. My discomfort meter was going through the roof. This felt less like friendly support and more like circling. Then came the call. Hey Leo, she said, her voice a little too cheerful. I was thinking, you shouldn't be alone right now. Why don't you come over? I'll order a pizza, we can watch a movie. Just to get your mind off things. I hesitated. I don't know, Megan. I'm not really in the mood for company. Oh, come on, she purred. It'll be good for you. I promise I'll be nice. My gut was screaming at me. Every instinct I had was telling me this was a bad idea. But I was lonely, I was miserable, and a small, stupid part of me thought maybe she could offer some insight into what the hell had happened with Chloe. So I went. Big mistake. Huge. I walked in, and the vibe was immediately off. She had candles lit. The lights were dim. She was wearing a silk robe. I mean, seriously? A silk robe? She poured me a glass of wine that I definitely didn't want and sat down on the couch, patting the spot right next to her. A spot that was way too close. I'm so glad you came, she said, putting her hand on my knee. I've been so worried. I just hate seeing you like this. Chloe, she's an idiot. Yeah, well, it is what it is, I said, trying to subtly move my leg away. No, it's not, she insisted, moving closer. You deserve someone who sees you. Who really, really wants you. And then she leaned in to kiss me. I recoiled like I'd been electrocuted. I shot up from the couch. Whoa, Megan. What are you doing? She looked genuinely shocked that I wasn't into it. What? I'm just trying to make you feel better. By trying to hook up with your best friend's boyfriend of 4 years, a week after they broke up? How is that supposed to make me feel better? My voice was rising. The fog of sadness was finally being burned away by pure, unadulterated anger. Ex-boyfriend, she corrected. And come on, Leo. Don't tell me you never felt this. This chemistry between us. I just stared at her, disgusted. There is no chemistry. There is nothing. You're supposed to be her best friend. I'm a mess. What is wrong with you? I turned and walked out the door without another word, leaving her sitting there in her stupid robe. I drove home with my hands shaking. It wasn't just about Megan's creepy, predatory move. It was the realization that something was deeply, fundamentally wrong with this whole situation. The breakup, the vague excuses, and now this? It felt like a conspiracy. The second escalation came a month after the breakup. I was trying to move on. I was focusing on work, taking Gus for long hikes, reconnecting with my own friends. I had muted Chloe on all social media, but morbid curiosity is a powerful drug. One night, I cracked. I went to her Instagram page. And there it was. A picture of her in Paris. Standing in front of the Eiffel Tower. Kissing some guy. He was handsome in that generic, gym bro kind of way. The caption read, "Finally found myself, and it looks a lot like Paris." Red heart. My blood ran cold. The photo was tagged with the guy's profile. I clicked on it. His feed was full of pictures of their trip. Paris, Rome, Barcelona. All posted within the last few weeks. He had a post from a month ago, right around the time Chloe broke up with me, captioned, "Off on the adventure of a lifetime with my favorite person." It was a picture of 2 plane tickets to France. It hit me like a physical blow. The timeline. The math. There was no way this was a spontaneous trip. This was planned. It was all planned. She didn't leave me to find herself. She left me for him. The vague excuses, the coldness, it all made sense now. She was a coward. She didn't have the decency to just tell me the truth. She had to invent this soul-searching narrative to absolve herself of the guilt. The grief I had been nursing for a month curdled into a hard, cold knot of rage in my stomach. I wasn't just sad anymore. I was furious. I had been played for a complete and utter fool. And then, the final piece of the puzzle fell into place, courtesy of the third escalation. A mutual friend of ours, Sarah, called me. She sounded terrible. "Leo, I have to tell you something," she said, her voice trembling with guilt. "I can't keep it to myself anymore. It's about Chloe." "Let me guess," I said, my voice flat. "She was cheating on me with some guy she's now traveling Europe with." There was a stunned silence on the other end of the line. "How did you know?" "Instagram," I said. "Tell me the rest, Sarah." I deserve to know. And she did. She told me everything. Chloe had met this new guy, Derek, at her gym a few months before the breakup. It started as a friendship, but it quickly became more. He was wealthy, spontaneous, and offered her this exciting life she thought she wanted. He invited her on this grand European tour, and she decided to go. So, she manufactured the breakup with me so she could go on her little adventure without technically being a cheater. She had lied to everyone. And the worst part, Sarah said, her voice dropping to a whisper, is that Megan knew. She knew the whole time. My world stopped spinning. What? Yeah, Megan knew everything. She helped Chloe plan it. She helped her lie to you. She was the one who told Chloe to use the "I need to find myself" line. Suddenly, Megan's predatory advance on me made perfect, horrifying sense. She wasn't just being a bad friend. She was an accessory to the crime. She helped her best friend emotionally detonate my life, and then she stood by, waiting to pick through the rubble for a new boyfriend. The betrayal was so deep, so layered, it was almost impressive. It wasn't just one person who had betrayed me. It was a team effort. That was it. That was the breaking point. The sadness was gone. The confusion was gone. All that was left was this cold, clear sense of purpose. They thought I was a doormat. A nice, quiet guy they could just roll over and forget about. They were about to learn how wrong they were. A couple of weeks later, the inevitable happened. Chloe came back from Europe. Apparently, her grand romance with Derek fizzled out the moment they were back in the real world. I started getting the texts. Pictures of Gus. "Remember when we adopted him? He must miss me so much." Then the DMs, old pictures of us. We were so happy then. It was a pathetic, calculated campaign to worm her way back into my life. Finally, the big one came. "Leo, can we please talk? I need to see you. I just want some closure." Closure. The word made me want to laugh. Oh, I was going to get closure, all right. We all were. I texted back, "Okay. How about coffee on Saturday? But on one condition. Megan has to come too. I feel like we all need to clear the air to really move on." She agreed immediately, probably thinking it was some mature, sensitive guy request. She had no idea. My next move was crucial. I called Megan. "Hey," I said, my voice carefully neutral. "Look, Chloe and I are meeting for coffee on Saturday to talk. She told me to invite you." "Oh," Megan said, sounding wary. "Why?" This was the fun part. I took a deep breath and sold the lie. "Listen, I'm telling you this as a friend because you deserve a heads up. Chloe knows. She knows you tried to kiss me." Someone told her. "She is furious, Megan. She told me she's setting up this coffee meeting to confront you in front of me. I just thought you should be prepared." I could practically hear the gears turning in her head. The panic. "She what?" "That bitch. After I helped her." "I know," I said, faking sympathy. "It's messed up. Just be ready, okay?" "Oh, I'll be ready," she spat. And she hung up. The trap was set. Chloe was walking and expecting a tearful reconciliation. Megan was walking and expecting a nasty confrontation with Chloe. And I was walking in with a metaphorical pocket full of gasoline and a lighter. Which brings us back to the coffee shop. Chloe had just finished her Oscar-worthy performance, dabbing her eyes with a napkin. Megan was glaring at her, practically vibrating with defensive energy, waiting for the attack. The whole cafe was quiet. People were pretending not to listen, but they were totally listening. I looked at them both, my two betrayers, sitting there side by side. You know what? I said with that calm, gentle smile. I've thought about this a lot. And I've come to a conclusion. You two really, truly deserve each other. Chloe's face went from performative sadness to genuine confusion. What are you talking about, Leo? And just so we're all on the same page about why, I continued, pulling out my phone, I think we should all listen to a fun little recording I have. I call this one, Two Betrayals, One Coffee Shop. I pressed play. My voice filled the silence first, from my call with Megan. She is furious, Megan. She told me she's setting up this coffee meeting to confront you in front of me. Then, Megan's voice, dripping with venom. She what? That bitch. After I helped her lie to you about Derek and the whole Europe trip. I was the one who told her how to break up with you without looking like a monster. I hit pause. The color drained from Chloe's face. It was magnificent. She looked like she had been slapped. She slowly turned her head to look at Megan, her eyes wide with horrified understanding. Megan looked like she was about to be physically sick. You knew. Chloe stammered, looking at me. You knew about Derek? Oh, I know everything, Chloe, I said, my voice still unnervingly calm. I know you were cheating on me for months. I know you lied about finding yourself so you could go on a romantic vacation. And now, thanks to your best friend, I know she was your co-conspirator the entire time. The same best friend, by the way, who tried to crawl into my bed a week after you left. Classy. Chloe whipped her head back towards Megan. The look on her face wasn't sad anymore. It was pure rage. You tried to sleep with him, she shrieked. He's lying. Megan squeaked, her face bright red. He's twisting things. Oh, am I? I asked. Or were you just waiting for the smoke to clear so you could pick up the scraps? You helped her destroy our relationship, and for what? So you could have a shot? That was all it took. The dam broke. I cannot believe you. Chloe screamed at Megan, completely forgetting about me. After everything. I trusted you. You trusted me? Megan shot back, finding her anger. You're the one who threw away a great guy for some rich asshole who dumped you the second you got back on American soil. I covered for you. I lied for you. They went at it, right there in the middle of the coffee shop. Accusations and insults flew across the tiny table. People were openly staring now, their phones magically out and recording. It was a spectacular, 5-star implosion of a toxic friendship. And me? I just sat back. I took one last, satisfying sip of my cold latte. I watched the two people who had hurt me most tear each other to shreds. They had worked together to betray me, and now they were destroying each other. It was poetry. I stood up. They didn't even notice. They were too busy screaming at each other. I pulled a $20 bill from my wallet and placed it on the table. Well, I said to no one in particular. I believe I have my closure now. And I walked out. I didn't look back. I got in my car, and for the first time in 2 months, I didn't feel sad or angry. I felt light. I felt free. I drove home, rolled down the windows, and let the fresh air wash over me. When I walked through my front door, Gus was there, wagging his tail, happy to see me. I knelt down and gave him the biggest hug. It was just the two of us now. And that was more than okay. I blocked both of their numbers before I even took my shoes off. I heard through the grapevine that their friendship is radioactive waste now. Chloe apparently tried to salvage things with me through a few mutual friends, sending apologies and excuses, but I shut it all down. I told them I wasn't interested. I was done. It's been a few months since the coffee shop showdown. Life is quiet now, but it's a good quiet. It's a peaceful quiet. I've been working on myself, hitting the gym, seeing my friends, and pouring all my extra love and attention into Gus. I learned a hard lesson about trust and seeing people for who they really are, not who you want them to be. It was a painful education, but I passed the final exam with flying colors. So yeah, that's how I ended up single-handedly nuking my ex-girlfriend's life with a single audio recording. It was messy, but man, was it worth it. If you want to hear more crazy stories like this one, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe, because you will not believe what happened when my landlord tried